Welcome to today's meeting. Today we're talking about bad partnerships. All right, so around a little bit before, like a year ago, probably around beginning of the summer last year in 20. No. Wow, bad partnerships last a long time. It wasn't even 2020. It was 2019. So 2 years ago, I had closed my second wholesale deal. And so the guy I closed it with, great guy, really cool. Him and I was like, let's partner up on more wholesale deals. So between him and I, we partnered up. And I suggested, say, hey, why don't you move in with me into my house so we can focus on doing more deals and have like an in-home office. So then I ended up feeling like I needed a third person to balance out our duo. And so I met uh this guy. I don't know if he just called me one day out of the blue and was like, "Hey, let's partner up on some deals." I think he did just call me. Like I think I went to an investor meetup, a meetup group. I was just talking about what I was doing. He's like, "Oh, this guy." He's like, he could see something in me that he was interested in, so he called me up and was like, "Let's do some partnership." And so I didn't like, I didn't screen this person. I was just like, "Oh, you want to partner with me? Cool. I would love to partner with somebody." And so we all formed like a group, and he was like, "Yeah, we're the three-headed snake." He kept saying that, and I was just like, "Why we got to be snakes? Why can't we just be like a trio of something?" I don't know. The whole thing about the snake was like, it's just, I don't know. I didn't like it, but we ended up like going to the library, going to his area to meet, because like again, I was the only person in here. Well, me and the other guy had a car. This third guy didn't have a car, but I was like, man, this guy really has a mouthpiece. He's really always talking and trying to get people to see his point of view, and um, he's like, I thought he was cool. Put it like that. I thought he was cool. I thought me and him were gonna be able to make a lot of things happen in a lot of different business areas, because he had he just had like a similar knowledge base that I had. And I was like, yeah, me and this guy, we can definitely like do some business together. And so he also moves in. So we put together a business plan that we're working on pretty heavily for about 2 to 3 months. And so at that point, at that time, it's like our goal. I don't even really remember what my goal was, because it was so scattered from what this guy's goal was. Because my goal was just for us to have a system that we ran, where one person brought in the deals, one person did the systems and the record keeping and the lead follow up, and the other person did the dispositions, like calling up the buyers, having good buyer relationships. So it's like a well-oiled machine. Like one person is like closing the deals with the sellers. One person is keeping track of all the phone calls and who to call and when to call, and like the more like the analytics of the business. And that was where I was trying to be at. And another person is like, they're really good with the relationships with the buyers and the people who were selling our deals too. So that's where the other guy who I actually closed the deal with, that's where he was at. I felt he was good with that relationship, and I felt he had that type of personality. So that's the system I was going at it. It was just, this guy was just the wrong guy, because his vision of what we could do was him trying to take over what me and the other guy, like our free will. And this is even like the other guy. I'm gonna just call him. We'll just call him like partner. I'm gonna just call him my partner. No. I'm gonna call him my We'll just call him like first part. Well, no. We'll call him senior partner. Yeah. So senior partner was like, this guy, he's trying to like convince me to do stuff and kind of just take over, but we're not getting any results. And I get what he's saying, you know, like you want to have a quality lead and a quality contact with the people. However, the way he's going about talking to, however, I was saying that the way that the bad partner is going about talking to a senior partner and myself is just not like professional. Because he just kept spouting, like, this guy was like dogma, right? Spouting off the same thing over and over again. When it's like, if it's not working, change, like, if it's not working, you got to change the approach. Like, don't, like, put it like this, like, he kept saying, like, 5 deals a month, 5 deals a month, 5 deals a month. And we had similar goals. Like, yeah, we want to close 5 deals a month. But that is very shallow, because like there was no other contribution just than like saying, what are you not doing that you could be doing to close 5 deals a month? It's like there was none of that like actual analysis on his part or contribution, because it was like, and that's where things started breaking down. Like, we weren't, again, 12-week year, there was a flaw in the planned content. And the planned content was, what activities are we taking to do this? And if, this guy's doing the acquisitions, I'm doing the analytics, the other person's doing the dispositions, then getting the deals is on him. Like getting the deals in is on him. However, I was also doing the acquisitions because we didn't have enough leads. And so this guy, bad partner, didn't want to stay in his lane of like, he was bringing in deals, I was bringing in deals. But I would be on the phone with somebody. This guy would literally try to get on the phone and talk to the person while I'm literally talking to the lead at the same time. So he was basically trying to, he manipulative, right? Like, if I'm talking with an interested party, you should be focusing on the people who you can talk to, not my leads that I'm talking to. Like, that's, in fact, that's just like, it's weird. It's like, you should, talk to your own leads. You can't talk to the same person at the same time and, like, have a conversation. Like, so he was confused. And for me to have never, like, addressed that and said, I told him several times, like, don't talk, like, I'm on the phone with somebody. Don't try to talk to the person I'm on the phone with while I'm in the middle of a conversation with them. Like, it was just like, what's wrong with you? But there are a couple things wrong with them, because like that was one where it was like control freak, right? So power tripping or whatever you want to call it. The other thing is, all of us. When I say 3, that's confusing. So all 3 of us were living in my house. My house is the office. This guy, without my permission, bad partner and senior, he convinces senior partner while they're at the store that they should get locks and change the locks on the doors in my house. I'm like, what? You don't have permission to do that. That's not fair. That's not cool. And not only is it not fair or not cool, it's unethical. Like, I was just very, again, naive. My mind is in the sky, like not grounded in reality of seeing like this person is just a manipulator. He's an abuser, takes advantage of people's resources and manipulates them. Because like the door already locked. So for you to go and get you just turn the lock if you want to lock the door. For you to go get a doorknob to change the locks, it's like you don't have any rights to the room. Like, you're just living here so we can. Well, he did have rights. However, that's not cool. Not only is it not cool, you don't have my permission to do it, and so to do it without my permission is a slap in the face, and it's disrespectful to someone else's premises to be changing the locks, and it's also you don't have those powers. So this guy was trying to have more power than he had in the situation. And it's got nothing to do with me. It just has everything to do with who that person was. So I'm not, I don't, at first, at that time, I took it personal. And senior partner also took it personal. Like, oh, this guy, he's like, Cam, I really had a bad feeling about this guy. Like, I just didn't know how to say it to you. And I was like, dang, I wish you would have, because I would have got him out, got rid of him much sooner than I did. And like, it's like my family, right? So my family even came over one time and they met this guy. And some of my family was like, oh, he's really cool. And I'm like, it's tough when you try to get advice from family, because like they think they know, but they're just giving you a feeling. And I'm probably not explaining it as well as I could in the future, but it's like, yeah, they feel like on the surface this guy is cool, and it's like, why aren't you able to get along with him? And it's like, it's not so much like, is he cool or is he not? It's more of like, we're here for a purpose, and the purpose is to make money. And so if we're not making money, he can be as cool as he wants to be, but he's not productive. We as a group are not productive. That's the purpose of us coming together, is to be productive, produce and close deals. It's not it's not just like, oh, lollygagging, having fun. No, we're not doing that. That's not why you guys are living in my house. I'm paying the utilities, I'm paying the light bill and the water bill and everything, and to have fun. It's not like you have to contribute. Everybody has to produce. So I ended up he even owed this guy, my trainer, right? I had a personal trainer at the time. He owed him some money. So when him and senior partner did close a deal, he wouldn't pay the guy. And I was like, man, you need to pay this guy, or you need to get out of my house. And so we had a showdown. We had a little stand down in the house, and he wasn't trying to really cooperate. I'm like, don't slam the door in my face. This is my door. And so I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, you got to leave and you get out. And he took his stuff and he got out of my house and he went back to his apartment. So he got out. The other thing is, I had this is this guy was such a bad influence. I had a deal which I could have gotten closed, but the way this guy was doing his numbers or his analysis of the deal was different from the way I did my analysis, which it didn't really matter. It's just more about, can it be presented to somebody so that they'll understand that they can make money? And I could do that. He couldn't grasp that. So he was like, that's not a deal, that's not a deal, that's not a deal, that's not a deal. All day long. And I was like, it is a deal, it is a deal, it is a deal. But his negativity outweighed my positivity. So I ended up not putting enough time into actually closing the deal. And I, even though I had it under contract, I got this deal from cold calling. I ended up cold calling the actual owner of the home. He was like, yeah, I own this. I put it under contract with him. And because I never found a buyer for it, I paid my due diligence period expired, and I paid the man his $1,000. Because I was like, man, I could have just been like, oh, I'm not going to pay you this money. But I was like, I felt so bad about it and so negative, and the fact that I let the deal expire when it was a real deal. I was just like, man, here's $1,000 earnest money check. And so when you have bad partners like that, you can be looking a real deal in the face, a real opportunity in your face, and these bad partners will shoot it down because of whatever reason, because they have a lack of control. There's even this one thing, right? So it's the three of us. Terrible situation. Excuse me. Terrible situation. So it's the three of us, and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do next because our plans aren't working. We're not getting the results that we want, and there's some flaws. So, senior partner, he goes to sleep. It's like 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. He goes to sleep. Bad partner brings over his friend. He's like, hey, this guy's gonna join us so we can get, we can do 5 deals a month. And I'm like, who? Like, I know who he is, but like, when did we decide we were gonna bring in a 4th person? I was never there for that. He's like, well, senior partner would agree with me that this guy is a part of what we're doing. I'm like, are you sure that he said that? Like, when did he say that? Why didn't he say that to me? He's like, and this guy was like, he's again a clear manipulator. Luckily, I had a coach at the time who was able to describe for me what was going on. Like, this is like a politics move, so like a power move. So he was like, if I was to wake up senior partner right now, he would say the same thing I'm saying, that this guy has to be, this guy should be with us, and we're gonna, it's gonna help us close 5 deals a month, make $25,000 a month, such and such. And I'm like, really? He would really say that? And I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Luckily, though, I had a girl I was dating at the time. She was there for the meeting. And so she was like, after we had that meeting, she was like, I don't know what you guys were talking about specifically because she doesn't do real estate, but she's like, every time you were talking, that guy kept gaslighting you. I'm like, what is gaslighting? And it's just a new way of saying like triggering, or he was just being an instigator, or he was just saying things in spite of what I was spitefully of what I was saying. Every time I said anything, anything. And I was like, oh, I get it. So this dude really does not have my best interest, because he's not saying things to be progressive. He's actually saying things to be destructive, so that way he can destroy my independence and then have me relying on him for the vision and the guidance. And I was like, oh, so this guy is literally a parasite living next, like in the room next door to me. I'm like, what? This dude is really like a parasite that I really just let move into my house just so easily. And I was just like, wow, that's what a bad partner is, because they just suck resources. They have a different vision. They have a different execution, and they don't want to listen to other people. Then he even had the audacity to bring in a 4th person to our 3-man group and be like, oh yeah, this guy, me and the other senior partner already decided that it would be a good idea to have this 4th guy in here. Cameron, you're the only one who just doesn't get it. You're the one who's crazy. And I'm like, what is going on right now? What is literally happening? And yeah, that's why I intentionally had the girl I was dating over, because I wanted to get a female's opinion on like why we're not able to work out our differences. But it wasn't a difference of like, in fact, every single difference I could think of was there. For whatever reason, like, our values were not the same and our morals were not the same. So we had similar capabilities and we had similar dreams and aspirations, but our value systems were completely different, completely opposite. And that was why the guy was taking advantage of my resources, but was still able to talk the technical language, but he didn't have my best interest at heart. Efficacy. He didn't have my best interest at heart. So he was selfish. He only had his interest at heart. Which at the time I was like, oh, we're trying to do the same thing, so we're aligned. But we weren't trying to do the same thing. He was trying to do something for himself. I was trying to do something for all 3 of us: senior partner, bad partner, and myself as a group. And so it all broke down eventually. Like it definitely all fell apart. I got kicked that guy out of my house. Um, the other bad senior partner felt like he felt so like drained that it eventually because of some other things that I did, it also eroded my relationship with senior partner of me just being like relying on him too much. And um this was like all this happened right before I decided to go to California to basically get away from that bad relationship of a failed business, a second failed business. This is not the first failed one. This was like the second failed one. And so another thing, even like bad partner, senior partner told me that he was talking bad about me behind my back, talking about, oh, this guy didn't come from the same place we came from, and so he's different from us, and he already had this house before we got into business, so he got a leg up. It's like, bro, you literally see. I said, bro, see, he's not my brother. He was a user and abuser. This guy is literally living in my house. I'm paying the light bill and the water bill, and you're talking trash about me behind my back to senior partners so you can get him to be on yours, quote unquote, side. And it's supposed to be, in your words, his words at the time. Like, no, I'm not even going to repeat them, but just like we're supposed to be on a team. He was not a team player. And that was, you know what, that was part of one of the reasons why I did go to California. And I just picked a bad partner. I didn't screen him. I didn't have high standards to screen this person. I didn't have high enough limits to say, or I guess really like low enough tolerance to be like, this quality of person should not have been near me. It was just like I had that bad mentor who took advantage of me. Then I had another bad partner who took advantage of me. And it was just like, man, all these bad situations. So that's just like that's like my bad partner story. It did take me some time, and then after I made that bad decision, I made more bad decisions by everything that happened after that, that affected my career. So it was a bad decision for him to have moved in when we hadn't even produced anything. Like we hadn't even closed any deals. It's like I was really rushing that as well. Like, man, oh, we haven't closed any deals. You know, why don't you move in so we can focus more? It's like, nah, that didn't make any sense. It's too grandiose, too optimistic. And people's living habits are different from each other. So not only were we having to like come together as a team, which we weren't doing, we were going to have to live together as a team, which we didn't know how to do, and we would never have known how to do because we didn't even know each other enough to know if we even liked working with each other. And I knew I didn't like working with him and still let him move in. Like, so that was just me being very desperate. I was just very desperate for like, oh, I want to get some deals. I want to get some achievements under my belt. And it ended up hugely backfiring, just supremely backfiring. So, so there's that. Again, I'm offloading this negative, toxic memory because I don't need to carry it around. It's a burden that has to be removed and cleansed, healed, restored, and I have to be renewed to allow to allow good things to enter my life, to allow more to come in, and to have the removal of the lack. So that's what the purpose of these videos are. It's like everyone makes mistakes. That's a life, right? That's your life. It's my life. The point is to learn from them, call it a lesson. It's a lesson. So if I can teach myself, which is what I'm doing through these videos, through this vlog, I'll be prepared and I'll be equipped to notice these situations, to spot these situations, to prevent these situations from reoccurring, and to prevent similar situations from occurring which are detrimental to my well-being and my health, my career, my finances, my mentality, my emotions, my spirituality, my ability, my self-image, my self-worth, my value, my aspirations, my achievements, my dreams, my friends. Though all of those things can be destroyed and eroded with negative people who shouldn't be as close to you as they should, and you shouldn't be in business with. You should actually not communicate with. And if you recognize those signs in people, don't cut them a pass. Don't expect that you can change them. You can't change the people who are wanting to be themselves. If they show you who they are, listen to them and go find someone else to spend your time with. Go find someone else to play with. Go find someone else to enjoy life with. That person is not for you. So don't, like, that's like a misuse of force, because you're forcing yourself to fit inside of something which hurts. It should be avoid the friction. You should be able to, you should be not able, but you should be avoiding the friction at all times, because it hurts. It causes you to hurt. So, I've been doing sales, right, since I've been 19, since I got my real estate license, sales and marketing. And I've had the most success doing deals on my own. And like the very first deal I got was from door knocking. The second deal I got was from, I think I had bought some leads off a line. I got another deal from cold calling. I got another wholesale deal from cold calling. And I got a deal from doing, another wholesale deal from doing direct mail, which was, so I've been in this sales and marketing business for about 5 years, 6 years. And really, it's like I've never been able to understand the negative aspects about people, which is holding them back from achieving their goals. And I'm like, hey, just join my team and we'll pull through. It's like, no, they don't have the skills that you need for them to have to be on your team. They don't have the mindset. They don't have the capabilities. They don't have the standards and the tolerance and the limits. And so recognize those patterns in people, like when they're moldable or when they're stagnant. And the stagnant ones, move away from. The moldable ones, move towards. People who allow good to flow in and allow the bad to flow out, move towards. People who hold in bad and get rid of the good, move away. So take these lessons, internalize them, meditate on them. Farewell.